I'm Adam Collins, this is Crick Buzz Centerstage, back at the Oval where the fifth and final Ashes Test match starts here tomorrow. Now we've got some changes to the sides and one that we weren't particularly expecting from the Australians. All-rounder Mitchell Marsh is into the Australian 11 for his first Test match of the summer at the expense of Travis Head, the vice-captain. We thought that Head would play the whole way through given his relative seniority in the side, but they've opted to make the change on the basis that they want to have an extra seam option at the end of a long tour. They've kept Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood both in the squad along with Peter Siddle, so they might make a shift there, but they know that it's been a long series, a long World Cup as well in the case of Cummins, and having Mitchell Marsh to balance the attack gives them a few more options as far as that's concerned. Now, Australia have been very clear all week that even though they retained the Ashes at Manchester on Sunday, they want to win this series. They want to win in England for the first time since 2001, and here was the captain Tim Paine describing it as Australia's grand final.
We've already spoken a lot about it. We came here to win the Ashes, not just to retain them. So, we've spoken about it a lot as a group. That last week's result was brilliant, and we played very well. But all the guys are fully aware that that this Test match is bigger than that one. This is our grand final. We want this Test just as much as any other Test that we've played in this series. We just got to keep sticking to what we're doing, and if we do that again, I think we'll be right in the mix.
Changes as well in the England camp, two of them. Sam Curran's back into the side. The first time we've seen him sided for the entire series. He's been a professional 12th man of sorts, but we saw how effective his all-round seam and lower order batting was against India last year when he was the player of the series. He gets his first run in an Ashes Test match. Chris Wokes is also back into the side. The reason they're going for the two all-rounders is that Ben Stokes won't be able to bowl in this Test match. He'll still come in at number 4 as a specialist batsman, but don't expect to see the redhead charging in. He hurt himself, bit of a niggle last week. They're not going to take any chances at this stage of the series. Now, in terms of who they've left out, Craig Overton was expected, perhaps not so expected, Jason Roy. He did a decent job in the second innings last week with some stiff resistance on the final day, but all told, his series have produced modest returns. Joe Root still thinks he could be a Test player, but it's been a tough old initiation in conditions which have really suited ball over bat so far in the Ashes. Another talking point for England, of course, this week is that it's a bit of an end of an era. We heard from Trevor Bayliss, the coach, yesterday. It's the last Test match he'll be overseeing in that role, and Joe Root was talking at his press conference about how they're looking forward to the future now and seeing this week as an opportunity to start doing precisely that.
I'd give him a slightly higher mark than that. I think that sums him up really. Quite a modest bloke that sort of wants to slip under the radar, doesn't like any fuss or attention, and tries to put it back on the players. I think what he's done for this, well, for all teams, he's been a part of some very special wins in Test match cricket, some series home and away, which he should be extremely proud of as a coach. And then the way he's obviously transformed white ball cricket and been a part of that journey is incredible, really. He's really rejuvenated how we look at cricket, the white ball game in this country, and laid some really solid foundations for us to kick on and develop. So he's been massive for. He's had a massive influence in his tenure here, and he'll be sorely missed by all of the players that have had a chance to work with him.
And of course, in the case of both teams, they have World Test Championship points on the line, 24 of them. It's a quirky old system, but they both realise at the start of this cycle they want to bank as many of those points as possible. So, as I mentioned yesterday, no such thing as a dead rubber. It never really is when it comes to Australia and England in an Ashes contest, but especially with the new World Test Championship. We'll be back, of course, with Crick Buzz Centerstage throughout the course of the Test match. Myself and Michael Vaughan down at pitchside every night. Do not miss a ball on Crick Buzz.